call Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, and don't want us to the apostles and elders of Grand Millstone, and peace and salutation to the Akim doing his work in truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. And I just want to do a lesson, going in on the economic impacts of the COVID, this pandemic, you know, that the elite, of the House of Esau, have created, man. And these people, they're not taking it seriously. They still living the lives that they've been living. Living a so-called lavish life. You know, uh, the American dream, the white picket fence. But all of this is gonna come back and it's gonna catch up to everybody, man. You know, um, they keep expanding. These stimulus packages. Keep giving out these loans and shit like that. You know, and just expect for everything to be fixed, and it won't be fixed. You know, this was that death blow to the economy, that everybody was predicting, because without the COVID, the economic collapse would have been delayed a lot. I don't know how many years, I can't put a date on it, but it would have been more delayed, But with the COVID, man, it's been put out there. It's been made more rapid. You know, it says the economic implosion of 2020, job losses ramp up again as millions of Americans continue to slide into poverty. Okay, and this is not being talked about, man. You know, and the main people that are being dragged into this poverty are you Jakes, man. Because Esau is doing well, man. All right, and Esau is doing better than you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The service that I provide to people, I go into their homes, I go into these different neighborhoods, you know, and mainly, people are downsizing, and so these Edomites, they basically just they're moving out of their super nice, suburban homes with the four bedroom, three bathroom type shits, the two-story houses, and they're pretty much, what I'm saying, renting, moving into apartments and stuff like that, But these are still, what I'm saying, nice apartments and stuff, that you Jakes are not able to access, man. So it's not really that much of a decline, for these Edomites, man. But for you Jakes, what I'm saying, you already was barely paying your bills and shit, and now that this is hit, it's gonna be much worse for you. It says, man, and this is a I could see from I had just pulled this website up today, because I was looking for a website that goes into the economy, and this website is already, what I'm saying, hitting the nail on the head. It's hard to like I've been saying in my videos, and brothers been saying that the truth is out there now, about certain things, what I'm saying, the Hollywood, the industry, the economy, and the things that these politicians are doing behind closed doors. All of this stuff is being exposed now. But they're what the elite are doing is they're directing the path of where they want this truth to go. What I'm saying, to lead into their new world order, man. And it's crazy. You know, all the articles and all the YouTube sites you used to go to for the truth. Now they're being I don't know the word for it. They're being persuaded, and they're being changed, by this presidency. This guy, Donald Trump. Because people actually believe in this guy. People that made videos going into the economic collapse, made videos about the Illuminati, the New World Order. What I'm saying, the mark of the beast. You know, 9/11 being a hoax and all of that. These are the same dudes that are turning over, and following, Donald Trump, man. All right, believing in the fucking American dream, and that's why you have to say the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for this truth, man, because it's keeping you on course, man. Because there's a lot of different alternative roads, that this devil is creating for you different people, man. You want to be a left, right. You want to be a left, super passionate about what do they call it? Social justice warrior. You could be on the left. You could be in Antifa, or you could be in Black Lives Matter. Or if you super conservative, um, and you believe in family and structure and things like that, you could be on the right. You know, just giving you different avenues. And even if you want to be a conspirator, okay, you could be a conspirator on the left and the right. And it's all a part of that Hegelian dialectic, man. Because with the left and the right, you still have acceptance of wickedness, man. The left and right are no longer arguing about gay rights and abortion and shit like that. All of that shit is acceptable now. Abortion is acceptable now. And being a homosexual is acceptable now, man. That stuff is no longer in arguments anymore. Now it's just about who's more fashionable, who's more trendy, who the fuck is wearing goddamn Timberlands and shit. They actually had an article about that with Kamala Harris, appealing to you damn dumbass Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. And some of you niggas are gonna vote, you know, for Kamala Harris, just because you believe that she's a so-called black woman, you know, after she's um contributed, to putting you Jakes in prison, and even Joe Biden, with the creation of the crime bills and all of that, you know, and then you guys, want to turn to Donald Trump, who you think is going to be your savior, man, you know, and then you got this guy Donald Trump on the flight logs with Epstein, on camera talking about how he gropes women. And he's still the president of the United States, man, which just goes to show you that it's over, man. It's a wrap. This is So I'm gonna start off with this article. It says the mainstream media keeps trying to convince us that things are about to get a whole lot better for the U.S. economy, but instead they just keep getting worse. On Thursday, and right, they are doing that. Every time you go look up an article on the economy, man, it's a bunch of fluff. It's a bunch of bullshit. If you go on Bloomberg or though you damn sure better not go on CNN or Fox. You know what I'm saying? Or you go to the Wall Street Journal. Um, there's another site, I think it's called Market Watch. All that shit, man. It's nothing but a bunch of fucking bullshit, man. They just going into, they'll put up the stats, but they won't put, what's really going on. And it says, but instead they just keep getting worse. On Thursday, we learned that another 898,000 Americans filed new claims for unemployment benefits last week. That's almost a million people, And how far are we from when COVID first took place here in America? What was it, in March? So you got March, April, May, June, July, uh, August, September, October. That's what, 8 months, and 8 months, and you still have a million people filing for new claims of unemployment, man. But Trump is talking about the economy is soaring. He got the jobs back and all that shit. The nigga just be lying. Telling you what you want to hear. Talking about there was the strongest economy before all this happened. This is bullshit. That was the highest number that we have seen since August, and it is yet more evidence that a new wave of layoffs has begun. Because a lot of these in these different states, we're our camp is in Texas. We're in the GMS Houston camp. You know, um, Texas is pretty much opened up right now. You can still go to stores and stuff. They just make you wear a mask. You can still go to restaurants and all that. They just make you do the bullshit 6 feet and all that shit. But in other parts of the country, like in the more liberal parts of the country, man, everything is still closed. All these restaurants are still closed down. The bars are closed. Mainly small businesses are the ones that are taking the grunt of the economic punishment, man. While all of these large big chain companies, who are gonna be tools of the new world order, are allowed to stay open, man. Your Walmart's, Targets, Amazon, all these companies are gonna be used in the time, the new world order, man. When this devil's trying to establish his devious plan. It says, but according to the experts that the mainstream media relies upon, this wasn't supposed to happen. According to them, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits was supposed to be steadily tapering off as the U.S. economy shifted into recovery mode. Unfortunately for all of us, those experts have been dead wrong. Of course, they've been wrong. They doing it in order to get more gains and stuff like that. Like the stock market. They don't want to report bad news. Because then what happens? The stocks are gonna tank. So they're gonna continue to try to hide information from you. Just like in 2008 when you had the recession. They're gonna hide information from you, man. It says yesterday I wrote about the decline of the middle class in our country, and here in 2020, this pandemic has greatly accelerated that process. In fact, one new study has found that almost 8 million more Americans have plunged into poverty just since May. That's about 8 million people. In a country that's supposed to be roughly 300 million people. You got 8 million people entering into poverty. Why it matters, the researchers found that the monthly poverty rate for September was higher than rates during April and May, and it also topped pre-crisis levels due to the expiration of the CARES Act stimulus checks and 600 per week unemployment supplement to unemployment benefits, right? Because all of that stuff is cut. So at first, people that were on unemployment, because that's what happened while I was working. You had people on unemployment, making more money than us that was at the job. Making $1,000 each week. And they thought that shit was never gonna stop, but guess what? It stopped, and it ain't. I don't know if it is coming back or not. It could come back where you would have to take that vaccine in order to obtain it. And the stimulus check. They did a doozy on you Americans with that stimulus check, man. Because the first one came out, pretty quick. And just showed up in your bank account. You woke up one morning, looked on your phone, and you had it. And now with the second one, man, they bullshitting. And then it's the Democrats, and they can't even agree on the shit. The Democrats don't want the Republicans to be the ones that put that out, because then it's gonna look like, what I'm saying, the Republicans are the ones that help put you on your feet. And people are pissed the fuck off, man. People are ready to run up in Congress, man. You go on some of these comment boards and on YouTube, the comment boards, they talking about running up in there, man, because you have these politicians that are sitting on they comfy little leather chairs, and they sitting there debating and all that bullshit, and they don't have to worry about the economy, because they getting paid their salary regardless, and then they go on 30-day vacations and shit and have all their recesses and stuff. The people are fed the fuck up, just like on that movie, on the Batman movie, you had Bane and shit. That's what people are gonna be doing, all out anarchy, A separate study by researchers at Notre Dame and the University of Chicago found that 6 million people have slipped into poverty in the last 3 months per the Times. You're not gonna hear them talk about this, man. You know, it says our hearts should be breaking because of what is going on all over the country right now. Millions upon millions of hardworking people have lost their jobs and can't find new ones. And that's true. When you go look for a job now, it's not going to be the pay that you had before you lost your job, and there's not going to be any overtime. So you'll just be working less than what you used to make. You're making less than what you used to make, and you're not getting any overtime. All the overtime is being cut. So how the hell can you survive off of that, man? Because most of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, you live off the overtime. You know, the overtime is damn near 50% or more of your income. It says and can't find new ones. As a result, they have lost the comfortable middle class lifestyles that they once enjoyed and have now joined the ranks of the poor. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this scripture out. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened," man. Okay, and the grinders have ceased, man. Okay, there's been mandates that people aren't allowed to work. People aren't allowed to frequent certain locations. Even house gatherings and shit like that are being ruled unlawful. You know, so the grinding has ceased. Here in America, man. And it says those that look out of the windows be darkened. Because you had a dream or a hope. You had this American dream. You thought 2020 was going to be your year, all right? And you're finding out that 2020 is a year of misery for you people, And it's a beautiful thing, to the men of the Lord, man. And some of you people, you still haven't slowed down. You still continuing in your wickedness. You still finding your little nightclubs and still doing your dope and you're being a damn whore. It still haven't stopped for you people. It says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." And all the doors are shut in the street. This is so crazy, man. And the sound of the grinding is low, and it's going to get worse. This is just a prelim, man. This is just a prelim of what's truly going to happen here in America, man. After this financial collapse, man, it's gonna be the grinding is gonna be amazingly low, and all the doors are gonna be shut, you know. And then it goes into the daughters of music shall be brought low, man. Look at the music that's being produced now. It's nothing but bullshit and madness and high level negatory, you know. So it says, but the official government numbers don't look that bad because millions of those people are not even categorized as unemployed. And that's another point, that this devil, he tries to finesse you people, man. Because you don't know how to analyze the numbers. You just take whatever the fuck they give you. It says, but the official government numbers don't look that bad because millions of those people are not even categorized as unemployed. Instead, many of the workers that have lost their jobs during this pandemic have been thrown into a category that is called not in the labor force. And that's what they do after a while, man. After a while of you being unemployed and you not being able to find a job, they just throw you into the not in the labor force category, man. They say in order to have faith in the official government numbers, you have got to believe that more than 100 million working age Americans are not in the labor force because they don't want to work. It is such a sham. Why don't we just put every single American that is not working into the not in the labor force category so that we can have 0.0% unemployment? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Of course, the truth is that more Americans are being laid off with each passing day over the past few weeks. Some of the most iconic companies in the entire nation have been letting workers go. And then, I seen that the unemployment numbers are only like 8% right now. That's complete bullshit. You know, it says, for instance, tourism has dried up almost completely in Las Vegas, and this week there have been more layoff announcements. The Tropicana Las Vegas has given notice to 828 employees that they're being laid off beginning Thursday, October 15th. So all these layoffs and everything is going on right now, and this devil is still presenting news as if everything is all right. It says, if you can believe it, 1 out of every 4 Californians received unemployment benefits between March and July. That's fucking 25%, man. And that shit is not being reported. You know, that's fucking 25%. That is staggering. It says the state may have more billionaires than anywhere else in the country, but according to the U.S. Census Bureau, it also has the highest poverty rate. Then that's absolutely right. The richest of the rich, in America, live on that West Coast, man. Because of the beaches and all the different geographical monuments they have over there and stuff like that. That's wine country. That's why all the richest people live out there. But guess what? Also, the highest, the most poorest people live out there. And California is a total representation of America. You know, it's empty. You got Hollywood out there, man. Full of emptiness and wicked ass people, depression, drug use, all of that shit is right there in California, man. You know, but when you look at the numbers, it's not showing a quarter of people, being unemployed. You got people living in tent cities and shit, out there in California. It says, to conclude, it says, sadly, I think that this process is going to accelerate even more in 2021, and that is really bad news for millions upon millions of middle class American families that are deeply struggling right now. And that's gonna um let me see. And they still producing. They're still coming up with more, COVID-19 numbers here in these European nations, because they're trying to crash their economies as well. They need a worldwide crash, you know. And I had just seen that in Ireland, they're about to do another shutdown out there, you know. And then that's how you can tell the intelligence of these different nations versus the nations of versus America, because these other nations they have revolts and stuff, over these shutdowns, man. But in America, they don't really have revolts like that, you know, to where they get violent. They might stand outside for a little bit with some signs, but they're not gonna get busy. But this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that's the story of Esau, you know, that take which is not his. This dude took a whole nation, you know, and then took the nationality of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and called himself a Jew. Called himself the Israelite, you know. And it says to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, So he's built upon all his death upon himself, this debt upon himself, man. And nobody's talking about that. They talking about the economy and the middle class and all of this, but nobody's talking about okay, well, what about all these loans that we sent all these people? You know, how are we going to pay back all these loans? You know, Trump cut the interest rate down to 0%. You know, so that means that the country is taking on more and more debt. Okay, just contributing more and more to that ultimate, financial collapse. But that's all I had. I pray this will edify. Call out Yahabashim Shah, Bashir Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and peace, salutation to the Aki. I'm doing this work in truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. And Shalom.